Ready? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name's Rania Mankarios. I'm CEO of Crime Stoppers of Houston. Welcome. I'm joined this morning by Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg, Harris County District Attorney's Office Special Crimes Bureau Chief Ruben Perez, Crime Stoppers Director of Victim Services Andy Kahn, and family members of the Harris County District Attorney's Office Crime Victim Advisory Panel and the Crime Stoppers of Houston Executive Board to announce a new targeted initiative created critical to the safety of all who live in Harris County. For over 40 years, Crime Stoppers of Houston has offered the greater Houston area our anonymous tip line. This valuable reporting platform has proven to be extremely helpful in both solving serious crime and locating dangerous defendants and fugitives. Since inception, this tip line has led to the capture of well over 27,000 suspects and assisted in solving well over 35,900 felony cases. The success of this tip line is due in large part to our long-standing partnerships with the media who help publicize our cases, thousands of tipsters who call us anonymously to report critical information, law enforcement who use that information to investigate and solve cases, our DA, and the entire criminal justice system that works as swiftly as it possibly can to diligently seek justice. These processes, the tip line, and all of the partnerships are now needed more than ever. You know this, we know this, crime is out of control. Our criminal justice system is under extreme stress. Bail reform applied in violent felony cases has caused incredible chaos, and communities representing every corner of our city and county are demanding answers. For those reasons and others, I was thrilled to receive a call from Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg with an idea for a new program that utilizes our tools and offers solutions. After weeks of discussion and planning, today we are happy to announce our new Catch a Killer program. With a focus on murder cases only, each week we will highlight accused murderers, people who are roaming our streets, wanted fugitives who are a danger to all communities. We will release a murder fugitive along with their photo and charging information. We will ask for the public's help in locating these individuals, and together we will work strategically and aggressively to remove these dangerous killers from our streets, from neighborhoods, from stores, from restaurants, from highways, and more. Currently, the Harris County District Attorney's Office has identified a list of over 600 murder fugitives that will be the focus of this targeted program at the onset. We know more will be added. In a few short weeks, a landing page will be launched on the Crime Stoppers of Houston website in support of these efforts. Once these fugitive murder suspects are in custody, the Harris County District Attorney's Office and her team of prosecutors will seek sufficient bail and no bail when appropriate. Crime Stoppers of Houston will offer its standing cash reward of up to $5,000 that leads to the identification of each suspect, the location of each suspect on every single case. Tipsters can call us anonymously at 713-222-TIPS or go online at crime-stoppers.org. I'd like to take a moment to thank District Attorney Kim Ogg and her entire team for the commitment and partnership, their idea for this critical initiative. We are thrilled to be working together. With that, I'll welcome District Attorney Kim Ogg.
Rania, thank you so much. I am Kim Ogg, Harris County District Attorney, and I want to thank everybody here, starting with several families, surviving family members of murder victims. It takes a lot of courage after the worst thing that could possibly happen in a family to come out and try and help get justice for their family members and others' families. Members, and so I appreciate them. I also want to thank my longtime friend Andy Kahn for his constant vigilance in trying to bring fugitives to justice through Crime Stoppers, which of course includes the participation of the public, law enforcement, and the media. And then I want to thank my staff, because the people you see here from Vivian King and David Mitchum, Denise Onken, Ruben Perez, Celeste Byram, these are the leaders of the Harris County DA's office, and it takes all of us to deal with the emergency situation that the criminal justice system is in. We're here to proudly partner with Crime Stoppers of Houston, the leading and best anonymous crime tips hotline and cash reward program in the world. We reached out to them because the homicide rate in Harris County and the murders and the pain that we see in these families' faces is unacceptable. And a good common sense solution lay right here in our own city with Crime Stoppers of Houston. So it is a fact that law enforcement agencies, including the district attorney's office, are collectively reporting serious increases in the murder rate. In turn, as more killings occur, we file more capital murder and murder charges. We filed over 400, the exact numbers we can provide you after the conference, but that's to date, capital murders, manslaughter cases. Well, what the public doesn't know, they know that crime is on the rise, but what they don't know is just how many accused murderers are out among us on the streets, in neighborhoods, perhaps staying next door to you. The answer is 630. 630 individuals charged with the murder of someone's family member are currently fugitives from the law and at large. And it's these individuals that we seek to bring in. So the common sense solution is partner with Crime Stoppers, which utilizes the public, law enforcement, and the media in partnership to catch a killer, specifically to catch 630 killers. And we have families not just from Harris County, but from Galveston County, because Crime Stoppers of Houston serves everyone in the region. And because they serve so many, and because they are the leading tips hotline capturing more fugitives than any other Crime Stoppers in America, it is our privilege to reinvest $500,000 in criminal forfeiture funds, dirty money, if you will, now put to good use for the operations and rewards necessary to catch a killer. More specifically, to catch 630 of them. So I'd like to take a minute. I'd like to invite Vivian King, our Chief of Staff, to present a fake check and also the real check to Crime Stoppers of Houston. Mr. Chairman. Thank you. So what's important about this is the people's money. It was taken from criminals, from their proceeds. It was forfeited through a lawful process, and it's being reinvested into the public safety of our community, thanks to Crime Stoppers.
Thank you.
Thank you all. You know, there's two things that fugitives have in common. One, they're always looking over their shoulder. And two, somebody, somewhere, knows where those fugitives are. And for those charged with murder, here's a little reminder, the statute of limitations never runs. So there are two choices for you if you're a charged fugitive murderer. You can remain on the run until you're caught, or you can turn yourself in. But either way, you will be caught. Just ask the Schwartz family. Debbie and David Schwartz are members of our Crime Stoppers Victim Advisory Panel for a good reason. And we've been friends through the worst possible means. Their son was murdered along with a friend before I ran Crime Stoppers. But as the former director of Crime Stoppers in the early 2000s, I met the Schwartzes, and we held many press conferences and made many asks to the public to try and help apprehend their son's murderer, who was known but a fugitive, on the run for more than 20 years. And I say that the Schwartzes are a living symbol of hope for everyone out there seeking justice, because although it took more than 2 decades, their son's killer was caught. He was brought to justice in Fort Bend, successfully prosecuted, and now serving 60 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. To catch a killer will make Houston safer. It's a common sense solution to a problem that doesn't have easy answers. And yet sometimes we find those answers right here in our hometown. So let's pull together. Let's talk about, I'm going to invite Andy up because we're going to talk about some of the fugitive killers that will be featured on To Catch a Killer. And I want to thank the public in advance for their courage in calling Crime Stoppers, turning people in, for their courage in being witnesses and part of the solution, not the problem. Andy?
Don't answer that phone. I'm Andy Kahn, Director of Victim Services, Victim Advocacy for Crime Stoppers of Houston. I'm also a board member of Parents of Murdered Children and Surviving Family Members of Homicide. I can tell you right now that grief is intensified when justice is lacking. And for many families, justice is lacking. And that's what this program, Catch a Killer, aims to get out and give families some semblance that the system is going to be working for them. We're going to start off by profiling some of the most wanted fugitives, all wanted for murder. And as Kim and Rania said, we've got a serious crisis in Houston and Harris County right now with our murder rate. Yet we all know that Crime Stoppers works. And if you look recently at some of the cases that have been particularly profiled in the media, starting with Samuel Olson, 6 years old. That was Crime Stoppers tip. David Castro, leaving the Astros game. That was a Crime Stoppers tip. And just a little over a week ago, the horrific murder of New Orleans police officer Briscoe and his friend in the middle of the day. That was a Crime Stoppers tip. Again, the partnership that we have with the public, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to ask the public, because that's our best eyes and ears out there, to step up to the plate and help us bring these fugitives in. First one we're going to show, Michael Hull. Michael Hull has 4 prior felony convictions. You can see the murder took place May of 21. This particular victim was killed at a different location, and her body was dumped in a ditch. There was physical abuse on her face, blunt force trauma, traumatic brain injury. We also knew that Hull confessed to family members that he killed the victim, and we also are of the perspective at the time that he perhaps fled towards the Mexico border. Michael Hull, 4 prior felony convictions. Let's catch this killer. Next one, Jose Pablo Urbina. Capital murder, July 17th, 2019, in the process of a home invasion and robbery. Confessed to the capital murder, according to Harris County Sheriff's Departments, shot the victim during the course of a robbery, showed no remorse. He was arrested, charged with capital murder, and then released on bond on a $250,000 bond. Bond forfeiture. He's out, he posted bond, and he's gone. He also has a private juvenile history as well. And you're going to see a common theme with a lot of the cases we're going to start to profile: bond forfeiture. Question is, how many others are out there that are on bond that have forfeited their bond? The next one we're going to show is Tavash Rashad McKinley, wanted for the murder of Raylan Donta, Maryland, February 2016. Also out on bond, also forfeited the bond. And this is something, again, that Crime Stoppers has been repeatedly asking for, is how many defendants currently out on bond have forfeited their bond. My best guess is you have an entire town that has disappeared, and we're going to start bringing the town back on this. He bonded out of jail and again failed to appear, and that was February of 2019. He's been missing. Again, let's catch him. Somebody knows where he is. The next one we're going to talk about is Brian Vega Velez, also a bond forfeiture, wanted for the murder of Alma Rivera Melendez, June 2016. So it's been 5 years since he's been out. This was a particularly brutal offense. He also was released on bond but failed to appear. He started noticing a common theme that we're talking about here. The next two, we're pairing them together because they're both interrelated on homicides on the murder of William Garcia. The first one is Aaron Sandoval. Sandoval was also a bond forfeiture. He was also on, guess what, an ankle monitor. He removed his ankle monitor. He had an open warrant now for murder, and his partner, I'm going to quickly go to his partner right here, Luis Madrid, wanted for tampering a human corpse in relationship to the murder of William Garcia in June of 2013. The murder victim was a 25-year-old male whose body was found in a wood. This is absolutely particularly brutal. He was wrapped up in a carpet bedding, and a hammer was found inside the bundle. Homicide was caused to blunt trauma forced to the head, the hammer being the murder weapon right here. Again, someone out there we know knows where these individuals are. And in all these cases, you are eligible for an up to a $5,000 reward for any information leading up to the arrest of these known suspects. We know who they are. And again, a reminder that all tipsters are anonymous. You can contact us at 713-222-TIPS. Submit a tip online, www.crime-stoppers.org. You can use our mobile app. And you've seen Crime Stoppers in action, and you've seen what happens to those that do it. But I'm going to talk about some of the families that we have here today, because we got to put a face. This is real, and it happens. And as someone who, like I said, who's been with your organization of parents of murdered children and surviving family members of homicide, not knowing where the offender is, not knowing that can eat you up. I'm going to ask Michael Kinchin to come up here and just say a few words about what happened with his daughter, Savannah, and the suspect that's now been missing now for quite some time, months. And again, we're going to ask for the public, because we know that somebody knows where Trent Paschal is. And I'm going to ask Michael to speak on behalf of his daughter.
Andy, thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Kinchin. My daughter's name was Savannah Kinchin. She was married to Trent Paschal. And last October of 2020, this man laid in wait and ambushed my wife and my daughter, assaulted my wife, murdered our daughter, and then fled and ran. Harris County Sheriff's officers caught him about 12 hours later. He had crossed county lines. They caught him. He entered into a standoff, shootout with the Harris County Sheriff's officers, and they shot him and took him into custody. After he recovered in the hospital, he was put into Harris County Jail, and through a process of remote bonding, he bonded out. Actually, he petitioned the court for a reduction in bond in Harris County. They reduced his bond, and he remotely paid bond in Galveston County, so he covered all of the felony warrants in both counties and walked free. Galveston County wasn't happy with that. They called an emergency bond hearing. He did not show, and he was arrested. Unfortunately, he was bonded out again and released. He was caught in February of this year in Galveston County, down near Friendswood, driving an illegal car with illegal plates, and he was arrested. He again was legally bonded out and released. Galveston County called an emergency bond hearing. He did not show. He was contacted. He was picked up by his lawyer, brought in. They applied extra restrictions, put an ankle monitor on him, and released him again. He held up a car salesman here in Houston in Harris County at knife point, slipped off his monitor, and has not been seen now in over 4 months. This man killed our daughter. He abandoned his 2 children, 12 and 7. My wife and I both are now raising our grandchildren. We need help. We need eyes, ears, anybody that recognizes this man. Call Crime Stoppers. There is a reward, but the satisfaction and your biggest reward is easing the minds of the family. Thank you, Andy.
Next one we're going to be profiling is Kevin Calhoun. Kevin is, again, you can't really script this on how things work. Kevin Calhoun was actually in the process, there was a jury trial waiting for the murder of Chad Reese. Kevin Calhoun served 7 years in prison in 2010 for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He has not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 bond forfeitures wanted. We know somebody out there has to know where he is. And we're counting on you to step up to the plate and do the right thing. I'm going to ask Chad's sister to come up and introduce herself and talk about the effect that this has had on her family in their quest for justice. Skip.
Hello, my name is Shakila Reese. I'm Chad's younger sister. We were really close. And to this day, I still can't fathom that he's not here with us anymore. All we had was each other. We lost our parents. And our family just want justice. So if anybody knows where this person is, can you just please just call in and anything will help. We just want justice. And that's all. Thank you so much.
I'm going to ask Ruben Perez to come up and do a Spanish interpretation, and then we'll close it, and then we'll be open for questions as well.
Buenos días. Me llamo Rubén Pérez, soy fiscal del condado de Harris. Trabajo con la fiscalía de la fiscal del condado de Harris, Kim Ogg. Estoy aquí con mis compañeros de la fiscalía y también con representantes de la oficina de Crime Stoppers y también con las familias de los seres queridos de las víctimas de esta tragedia, de estos asesinatos. Tenemos el orgullo de estar aquí con ustedes para anunciar un programa para la seguridad del público con respecto a personas que están cargados con asesinato, pero son fugitivos. Estamos aquí, como le digo, con representantes del Crime Stoppers para un programa para buscar y ayudar al público que los ayudan a pescar estos fugitivos que están acusados de asesinato, de capital y también de asesinatos. La oficina de KEMAG está donando $500,000 de agarrado de ingresos criminales para financiar recompensas en este programa y también por operaciones de Crime Stoppers. Hoy tenemos 630 asesinatos aquí en el condado de Harris. Y esos asesinatos son fugitivos, que nunca están arrestados, no están capturados, pero unos sí han estado capturados, sí están arrestados, pero andaban en fianza condicional de un juez del condado de Harris y no los hemos visto desde entonces, desde que no se fueron a corte. Estamos buscando el apoyo del público, porque usted, el público, son los que tienen los ojos y los oídos y saben muchas veces mirando lo que está pasando, porque los policías, lo que estamos aquí es para proteger el público, necesitamos la ayuda del público, porque como le digo, no hay una herramienta más fuerte de los oídos y los ojos del público, porque si miran a estas personas que estamos anunciando hoy, repórtelos a Crime Stoppers. Hay un recompensa de hasta $5,000 con un tip, por una seña de dónde están estas gentes, estos fugitivos. Queremos que el público créelos, que la fiscal KEMAG, Crime Stoppers, no vamos a descansar hasta que encuéntrenos, capturamos, arrestamos estos fugitivos para traerlos que enfrentarían la justicia, lo que merecen por asesinar nuestros ciudadanos, nuestras personas en esta comunidad. Y como le digo, si llamen y hay un tip, como dicen, les pueden dar una recompensa de $5,000 y es dinero en efectivo por el tip. Y le voy a dejar esto, los fugitivos que están escuchándolos y el público que lo está escuchando, nunca vamos a descansar, nunca, hasta que capturamos y arrestamos los fugitivos de estos crímenes. Muchas gracias por todo su apoyo y que Dios los bendiga. Y que Dios bendiga a las familias de las víctimas de estos asesinatos. Que Dios los bendiga. God bless you. Andy Kahn habló de unos fugitivos que andamos buscando. El primero que habló fue Michael Hall Murder. Michael Hall, que está acusado de asesinato. Este crimen pasó el 1 de mayo 2021. Si miran a ese hombre, por favor, llamen a Crime Stoppers. El segundo que andamos buscando, que estamos anunciando hoy, José Pablo Urbina. Ese crimen pasó julio 17 del 2019. Ese también fue a corte y nunca hizo una fianza, ¿verdad? Una fianza condicional que le dio un juez y después no se desapareció. El otro es Tavis Rashad McKinley, también acusado de asesinato. Ese también debía de haber ido a corte, no fue a corte y no nos hemos visto desde entonces. El otro es Brian Vega Vélez. Ese crimen pasó el 11 de junio del 2016, también acusado de asesinato. También ese tuvo en fianza condicional de un juez y no los hemos mirado, que debía haber aparecido en corte. El otro que está acusado de asesinato es Aaron Sandoval, también asesinato. La fecha de ese crimen fue el 7 de junio del 2013 Y el compañero de él era Luis Madrid, es el que está acusado de manipulación de un cuerpo humano. Ese también estaba en condicional libertad que le dio un juez y también no lo hemos visto entonces. Como dijo Andy Kant, un tema común en todo esto es de que estos andaban en fianza que les había dado un juez y se desaparecieron. No sabemos en dónde está, pero con la ayuda de ustedes, por favor, a ver si con todo el apoyo que los den ustedes, vamos a pescar a estos fugitivos. Muchas gracias por todo lo que han hecho ustedes por la comunidad. Gracias.
I'd also like to thank our law enforcement detail that is here today. You know, Kim and I won't say how long, but this is something we've always talked about for many, many years of doing, and it's always been in our heads. So again, thank you, Kim, your staff, for actually bringing this to fruition. It's always been, you know, my dream to start profiling wanted fugitives. And I got news for you, the ones that woke up today and had no idea that their life is about to change. Because guess what? Your faces are being plastered all over the planet right now. So whether you're running, hiding, or you're walking in plain sight, we're coming for you. And we're going to get you. It's just a matter of time. So we'll open it up for any questions.
You guys say, you said that it was 27,000, over 27,000 captured with this reward, 5,000, right? And then over 35,000 convictions. Can you tell me how much does it mean to get this $500,000? Is it going to increase tremendously, or is it going to help you guys even more, or do you still have enough to maintain that reward?
A gift of this nature, $500,000 to a nonprofit organization is incredible. There's no words to even express how much it means to us. We are constantly, I mean, think of how many cases we solve every single month. We don't fundraise for rewards. This is money that we generate through a partnership. Probationary fees, it's $25 here, $50 there. To get a gift of this nature, again, really ensures the rewards program is going to be strong, up and running for many years to come, especially through this really interesting season that we find ourselves dealing with the Criminal Justice Department.
Is there another city in the country that's doing a program like this?
Actually, not that we know of. We got had a meeting with somebody that was just coming from Miami who had a similar program that they were working on. We are very, very proud of the idea that District Attorney Kim Ogg had, the fact that she brought it to us, and we see this as being replicated across the country. There are 1,700 Crime Stoppers spanning 32 countries, and we are the largest. We are the largest because of this partnership, because of media that cares, because we care about our community members, and we'll do whatever we can to mitigate crime and find those who are wanted.
I know Andy mentioned too, a lot of these suspects were out on bonds, bond forfeiture cases. How concerned are you that you catch them, they'll get out again, or has there been progress in that?
This has been one of the biggest issues for us, a point of frustration. Even looking at the Briscoe killing, Jenkins, I believe we had paid a reward on in March, and he was released. And so as we fight many different battles, we are not retreating from anything. We're going to continue to be as aggressive as we can and finding these suspects. We're going to continue to be aggressive as we can and working on legislation. We're going to continue to be aggressive as we can, going from home to home, community to community, talking about just general civics, people who are frustrated but don't understand what's going on. And we're not going to stop. So we have to have many different conversations, and we'll continue having them.
Just to be clear, how many fugitives will you feature, and will that be weekly, monthly, and then where can folks find these fugitives, find their pictures, find all that stuff?
It will be weekly. We've identified a day. I'm not sure we're sharing that yet, but we will be sharing 1 to 3 weekly. We'll have a landing page on our website, crime-stoppers.org, where the community can go to get additional information. But we share on social media and across all our platforms.
Stephen, you mentioned some fugitives fled the country, perhaps maybe Mexico. What kind of a partnership you guys do with the government, with another country, to bring those guys back, if it's possible?
Well, Steph here with me.
Yeah,
That's one of the hardest questions for this reward program, because they do pay rewards for individuals captured and identified in other countries, but only upon charges here. And extradition treaties, or the lack of, really control whether we're able to bring a fugitive, even for murder, back to the United States, to Harris County. So we often work with other countries who have extradition treaties, and I can tell you that Crime Stoppers, through a reward, got the first fugitive ever extradited out of Colombia back in the early 2000s. So Crime Stoppers of Houston has been a trendsetter in international relations and in making this anonymous tips cash reward program work for people everywhere. And it's why we were proud to contribute what's really the people's money, $500,000 taken from criminals who took it from the community. And so to give it back to Crime Stoppers so that they can keep our community safe is exactly the kind of common sense partnership that I think is going to make Houston safer.
Thank you.
I was going to ask you, there's, especially the Hispanic community, right, that might know something about somebody that killed or did something. They are always afraid to call that line.
Yes.
Why? Because they fear that somebody extra is going to say, well, who are you, and everything. And they might need that money too, but they're fearful of some sort of retaliation because of their immigration status. Has this line worked for those people as well? Or?
Yes, and it's important to realize when we say that we're an anonymous tip line, it doesn't mean that we take your information and don't share it. It means we've never gathered your information. When you call, you are a number to us. And I'll say, even in the Briscoe killing, Crime Stoppers solved that case. We're not going to reveal how many tipsters are paid. We're just going to let you know that we solved the case. No one's going to know if a man or a woman called, what the information was. The officers that take it are seasoned investigators that know how to extract information. We don't want to know who you are. We don't want to know anything else. We just want the proper information that's needed to solve the case. That's been 40 years. It's worked that way.
I want to address.
Please.
I'm so happy you asked that question. Because even if it wasn't anonymous, even if the person were known, I'll say it again, and I've said it so many times, we in law enforcement, Kim Ogg's office, HPD, Harris County, every law enforcement, when we have witnesses, we're not here to deport anybody. We need their help. We don't care if those persons got here legally or illegally. We don't care if they're here legally or illegally. We are here to help. We're not here to deport anybody. Please, you want me to say it in Spanish? I will. Okay. Por favor, si tienen información, llámelos. No estamos aquí para lastimar a nadie, para deportar a nadie. No nos importa si están aquí legalmente o ilegalmente. No nos importa si llegaron aquí legalmente o ilegalmente. Estamos aquí para pelear los criminales, no estamos aquí para deportar víctimas, las familias de las víctimas o testigos. Por favor, escúchenos. No estamos aquí para lastimar a ustedes, estamos aquí para ayudar, no deportar. Gracias.
Any other questions? Thank you all.
It remains the same, right? 5,000 up to 5,000.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to everybody here. We are sorry. Thank you for being here. Thank you.